let us now discuss about the properties of monosaccharides. Okay, so these properties discussed under two headings by the name of isomerism and by the name of chemical reactions. Isomerism, okay, isomerism is nothing but the compounds which are having same structural formula, okay, and they have different structures. So those substances called as isomers, okay, and the existing isomer or the compound which is existing this isomer is known as isomerism, okay. That means isomerism is nothing but the compounds which are having same molecular formula but they are having different structures, okay. So and this isomerism is also elucidated under two headings, structural isomerism and stereoisomerism. So structural isomerism by the name itself indicates they have same molecular formula but differ in their structure. Okay, so under this we can discuss aldose ketose isomerism. Okay, that means glucose and fructose, we can give beautiful example. Okay, you see here the molecular formula for both glucose and fructose is C6H12O6. That means both glucose and fructose made up of 6 carbons, 12 hydrogens and 6 oxygen. But the structure is different. Glucose is aldohexose, fructose is a ketohexose, right? You see here I have marked the functional groups in this slide, okay, in under the aldose ketose isomerism. The molecular formula what I have taken C6H12O6, okay. So I can arrange this C6H12O6 into different categories, okay. In glucose I have arranged it this way, the functional group I have marked in yellow color, okay. Glucose and fructose both carry 6 number of carbons, okay, and only the difference is structure. Though they are carrying same molecular formula, the structure is different, that's why different names, okay, glucose and fructose. So coming to stereoisomerism, okay, stereoisomerism is also a type of isomerism where the compounds having same molecular formula and they differ in the configuration, okay, differ in spatial configuration around a carbon, okay, around a particular carbon, right. Once again I am repeating, stereoisomerism is the type of isomerism or the compounds which are having same molecular formula but they differ in the structure in respect to the spatial configuration around carbon atom, okay. Here for stereoisomerism we do require asymmetric carbon, okay. Without asymmetric carbon there is no stereoisomerism, okay. What is asymmetric carbon? Okay, the valency of carbon is 4. So all these 4 valencies satisfied by different groups or different substances, okay, that particular carbon known as asymmetric carbon. So glucose is having 4 such asymmetric carbons. So that means there is a formula to calculate number of stereoisomerism, okay, that is 2 to the power, the empirical formula to calculate number of stereoisomers, that is 2 to the power of n. So as I have mentioned, glucose is having 4 asymmetric carbons, so 2 to the power of 4. So calculate now how many isomers one glucose molecule stereoisomers can form. 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. 2 to the 4, 4 to the 8 and 8 to the 16. So totally the number of stereoisomers a glucose molecule can form is 16 in number, okay, right. So there are again types of stereoisomerism, okay, that is DL isomerism, optical isomerism, epimerism, anomerism. So all these isomerisms because of the presence of asymmetric carbon, okay. Without asymmetric carbon there is no stereoisomerism, remember. So coming to DL isomerism or like enantiomerism, DL isomerism otherwise called as enantiomerism, okay. So the popular one is like DL isomers are mirror images of each other. So when we look into the mirror, okay, whatever our right side thing visible in the mirror as a left side and left side thing will be visible as a right side. Same formula applicables here, okay. So see here the example, glucose, D-glucose, that means what? The hydroxyl group present next to the penultimate carbon, okay, next to the penultimate carbon. That is, this is the penultimate carbon, okay, the carbon which is present next to the penultimate bottom carbon, okay. If that hydroxyl group present on the right side, okay, or fifth carbon you can mention simply, okay, if the hydroxyl group on the fifth carbon, okay, if it is on the right side, that form of glucose known as D form, okay. If you see the same D glucose in the mirror, okay, this particular OH will appear in the left side. That means whatever the hydroxyl groups on the right side will appear in the left side. So that will be known as L glucose. So I can show you a few more examples here. Glyceraldehyde. So classification of monosaccharide we have seen 3 carbon, 4 carbon, 5 carbon, 6 carbon, 3 carbon trioses. Glyceraldehyde we have taken example. 4 carbon trioses, erythrose, 5 carbon pentose, ribose example we have taken. So here you see the isomerism thing, glyceraldehyde which is having CHO, OH, H, CH2OH. So this is the simplest monosaccharide, okay, simplest carbohydrate in respect to DL isomerism, okay. So here this part, so this is known as penultimate carbon and OH is present on the right side. If you see this compound, okay, if you see this compound on the left side, so which can be seen as quite opposite. This hydroxyl group present in the right side appear in the left side. Next, coming to, and what is the importance of this DL isomerism? In nature, our body, in nature, the most useful carbohydrates, okay, that we are consuming in D form, okay, whenever you see there is alpha D glucose, okay, our body can utilize only D form of glucose, okay, not the L form. Our digestive system, the enzymes accepts or act on D type of carbohydrates only, okay. You see alpha D glucose, alpha D fructose or alpha D galactose, okay, like this. Next, coming to optical isomerism. Optical isomerism, okay, is based on the capacity of a substance to rotate a plane polarized light. If I pass a plane polarized light through a solution, okay, the substances in the solution, okay, may rotate that plane polarized light towards the right side or left side, okay, clockwise or anti-clockwise direction. So if they are rotating this plane polarized light towards the right side in clockwise direction, they are known as dextrorotatory, okay. If those substances rotating the plane polarized light towards the left side or anti-clockwise direction, those substances known as levorotatory, okay, levorotatory. Here the symbols, so though they known as dextrorotatory, levorotatory, okay, they have given the symbols plus and minus. Plus means dextrorotatory, minus means levorotatory, okay, and D and L is nothing to do with the D and L, okay. So if though there is a option to use this optical isomerism properties, okay, you can mention with the single, I mean like small d and small l form, not capital D, not capital L, because this capital D and capital L belongs to enantiomerism or DL isomerism, okay, respect to the OH group present in the right side or left side. It is not on the optical property, okay, it is based on the asymmetric carbon and okay, if both equal amounts of, okay, both equal amounts of D and L isomers present in the mixture, that mixture is known as racemic mixture, okay, that mixture is known as racemic mixture. Racemic mixture, otherwise known as equal quantities of dextrorotatory and levorotatory substances equal together, okay. Optically inactive, racemic mixture, optically inactive, remember this. So now coming to epimerism. Epimerism is nothing like the sugars which differ in respect to single carbon, okay. Epimerism is nothing but the sugars which differ respect to a single carbon atom. That means the spatial configuration around a single carbon atom. That means OH group may be differ, maybe 4th carbon, 3rd carbon, 5th carbon, right. So for the empirical formula for all monosaccharides, like especially hexoses you take, that is C6H12O6. What I mentioned here, glucose is also having same molecular formula. Okay, at the same time, fructose is also having same molecular formula. Galactose is also having same molecular formula, and mannose is also having same molecular formula. Okay, only the difference is all these molecules differ in a particular carbon, okay, here and there. If I rearrange these things, okay, that means if in the solution galactose is there, if I rearrange these hydroxyl and hydrogens particular carbon, I can convert that galactose into glucose. Same way, if I rearrange these hydroxyl and hydrogens around a particular carbon in fructose, I can form glucose. Okay, this is known as Kiliani synthesis. Okay, from single monosaccharide you can synthesize rest of the monosaccharides. This is known as Kiliani synthesis. Okay, so here we will see epimerism. How you define epimerism? Epimerism, you can define the substances which differ with each other with respect to single carbon other than anomeric carbon. Okay, other than anomeric carbon. Okay, so the beautiful example what I can give here is galactose and mannose. Okay, galactose and mannose. See here, galactose and mannose, they differ each other, okay, at C2 level. Okay, this is mannose. Here I have shown three molecules. One is galactose, second one is mannose. The reference monosaccharide what I have taken, glucose. Okay, so all these three molecules, they carry a same molecular formula, that is C6H12O6. If you want, you can count the number of carbons and the number type of functional group is same. Okay, so the difference between, I have marked with the highlighter in this three molecules, okay, galactose, glucose and mannose. Okay, so galactose and glucose, they both carry same 6 carbons, okay, same functional group, same number of hydrogens, same number of oxygens, right? So but the difference is exists only in the 4th carbon. That means galactose is C4 epimer of glucose. Okay, galactose is the C4 epimer of galactose is the C4 epimer. So when you compare glucose and mannose, you see here, when you compare glucose and mannose, the difference existing in the 2nd carbon. The difference existing in the 2nd carbon. That means what you can say, mannose is C2 epimer of glucose. Okay, that means C4 epimer of glucose is galactose and C2 epimer of glucose is mannose. That means in the solution, if I have a glucose molecule, I can synthesize galactose, I can synthesize mannose, or else if I have mannose in the or galactose in the solution, I can get glucose. Same thing with the fructose also. Okay, but fructose and glucose are not epimers. Okay, anomerism. So in epimerism, what we have discussed, okay, there might be difference other than anomeric carbon. Okay, that means leaving the anomeric carbon, the difference exists in the any carbon. Okay, so rather than the first carbon, that means rest maybe the difference may be at C2, C3, C4. Okay, so like this difference may exist, but in anomerism there is a difference only at the first carbon. Okay, the difference exists only in the first carbon. So that is the difference between epimerism and anomerism. Anomerism, the difference between the molecules exists, though they share same structural formula, but the difference exists in the single carbon atom. Okay, so the examples I can give here is alpha D glucose and beta D glucose. Okay, so in simple terms you can say epimers differ in the structure other than C1. Anomers differ in the structure respect to C1. Okay, respect to C1. Here in the picture what I am showing you here, alpha D glucose and beta D glucose, you see here, and the first carbon OH is on the right side, the red color what I have marked here. Okay, okay, OH is on the right side and hydrogen is on the left side. And beta D glucose, this OH is on the left side and hydrogen on the right side. So that is the difference between epimerism and anomerism. So mutarotation. So mutarotation, how you define? The change in specific optical rotation, okay, in interconversion of alpha to beta form, okay, by using the optical activity. Okay, interchanging of alpha to beta form by using optical activity. Okay, so alpha D glucose have a specific rotation, okay, that is plus 1122 degrees, okay, and beta D glucose having specific rotation 18.7. That means if I take alpha D glucose also, if I take beta D glucose also, okay, they will both come to a specific rotation. That means they will reach equilibrium mixture at a particular rotation, okay, that is 52.7. okay. If any sparingly soluble glucose also, crystalline form of glucose also, okay, and dehydrated form of glucose also, okay, both reach to a equilibrium mixture one particular point, and that specific rotation is 52.7 degrees. Okay, that means alpha and beta forms are interconvertible. Okay, alpha and beta forms are interconvertible.